the Great gets beat up by Tiki Ghosn. Now, what happened here? And I gotta tell you, on the backside of all of this, I like Deen the Great. I'm gonna tell you why. Larry Wheeler, great big muscle guy, hanging out with Rampage. Rampage is doing something. You guys call it kick, or you call it stream, or you call... I don't know what it is, but it feels like somebody's filming Rampage 24 hours a day. That's what it feels like. If there's a guy you're gonna follow around the camera, Rampage Jackson is probably the guy. Deen the Great wants to keep on hugging Larry Wheeler's wife. And she's made it clear that she doesn't want to be hugged. He's not being like a creep about it. He's just being annoying. It's really just annoying to the point where Wheeler slaps him. Not a slap like the slap competition, which is actually a Boss Rudin open palm strike and you're trying to hurt the guy. It's my wife, stop. All right. Fast forward a couple days later. Deen the Great is putting the mouth to Tiki. And it's very clear that Deen the Great does not know who Tiki is. Fine. But he's putting them out to Tiki, and Tiki's kind of joking around with him like, hey, man, aren't you the guy that got slapped the other day? But it's just kind of playful. And Deen says, yeah, man, I got slapped, but I'll slap the heck out of you. I'll do to you what you think that guy did to me. And Tiki goes, oh, would you really? And he goes, yeah, I'll do it right now. Tiki goes, hey, are you serious? The guy says, yeah, I'm serious. Now, at this point, you've got to understand, it's relevant to the whole story. They're this close. There's nowhere to go. So if you're in Tiki's spot, you're either going to defend yourself or you're a fool. There's not a third option. You've got to take a guy at his word. And I should add for Deen the Great, Deen the Great's a boxer. This is one tough dude telling another tough dude, like, this is just not going to end well. So Tiki does the nicest thing he can do. Tiki gives him a strike. He gives him an elbow. It ends the altercation. The reason I call that nice is Tiki could have punched him, but his hands aren't wrapped. That's going to be a full force. If Tiki chooses to use an elbow, while an elbow is very aggressive, but Tiki's got a great big jacket on. Like in the world of handling this situation and being nice about it, you go with the padded jacket. So this is what Tiki does. Now, the reason I like Deen, okay, you don't get in trouble for getting in fights. You don't get in trouble for getting in what they call, a street fight. You get in trouble for winning. That's the only time you get in trouble. Right, it's the loser that brings it up. Nah, Deen said, we're good. Deen said, I know what I did. I know I got in his face. I know what I said to him. Deen actually apologized to Tiki. And I just appreciated that. Because Deen was wrong. And Deen did start that. And Tiki not only had a right to defend himself, he had an obligation. He just got told by a faster, younger, aggressive guy that he was going to get harmed by the younger, faster, aggressive guy. He had an obligation to defend himself. And the fact that Deen saw it that way, I gotta tell you, I thought was cool.